Hello YouTube, good evening. It's me, Bridget Brown. I just want to say hello, good evening. I hope that you guys enjoyed the short that I put out. Well, it was like, I think it was like 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes that I put out of the dinner that I made this evening. Happy Monday all. Who's watching football? Who's watching football and who's not? Who's a football fan and who's not? So yeah, I hope you guys check that out. That's what I made for dinner tonight. I find that like hamburger, like I'm happy my son likes that. I'm happy my son likes hamburger because it's good. It's fortifying, especially where I buy it from. It's like, excuse me, it's good. It's very filling, and it's fresh and it's good. And so if you watch the video, what I wanted you to know, I was gonna actually bring like a little bowl in here and show you guys what I do, but I figured I could just demonstrate it if you saw the video. So I had some biscuits, some buttermilk biscuits, some rice, some cabbage, and some hamburger. I also had on the side some kind of like sweet potato and stuff like that, just like in case he wanted to like add that in or whatever. And I mean, I make all Justin's meals. You know, he doesn't pick out the foods he wants and stuff like that. He doesn't really know how to do that, but I you know, I just play with it. I just get in the kitchen for years now and just play with it and just, you know, obviously, you know, if you know, like I had to like, most moms do this, you have to kind of like give one thing at a time, especially like if it's a vegetable or like a fruit or something like that. Even different breads and stuff, just to make sure there's no allergy reaction and stuff. So yeah, this was a long time coming. Honestly, like my son just started eating solids during that homeless period that we had. Yeah, he started to. I noticed that, and he was 3. Was he 3? Yeah, I think he was 3. 3.5, so like 3. Yeah. Before then, I was making all of the food groups, and he wasn't missing any meals. It's just that I had to make all the food groups, and I had to, you know, blend it or puree it and just make it like, you know, steam it. I had to do different things, you know, and put it in a bottle form. And if you guys were wondering, because I'm like, they're probably wondering how is he, you know, even when I showed you guys the smoothie in a couple of videos that I make for him, to make sure that he's getting the nutrition that he needs, that I know that he's not going to get in for the day. You're probably wondering, how does he get it out of the nipple? So, excuse me. Excuse me. You know how there's a, like, I think there's a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and then there's like a Y. Well, what I started doing little bit by little bit is I just started making like the perfect little suction hole out of the Y nipple until I made it to whereas, you know, it's kind of like a cup. It's not a cup, but it's kind of like almost the same opening as like a sippy cup, with like the opening is not small. You know what I mean? It's not small. The nipple is not small. So there's just a nicely cut little hole in there. It's like I had to do what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't give him literal food smoothies out of a Y. or a number 4, you know what I mean? So I had to make it bigger, and it just got bigger and bigger. And so he kind of like drinks down the bottle, you know what I'm saying? When he drinks it, when he has it. But so anyways, that's how I was feeding him before he ended up eating solids. I'll go back to this. Let me tell you this too, because, you know, autism and, you know, special needs and complex care kids, you know, everybody's different, you know, but we have commonalities with, you know, they have commonalities with other children, and they can identify with things like us parents, like medical moms and stuff like that. We can identify with each other's stories and stuff like that. So let me revert. From ages 6 months to 1 year, he was actually eating. Just so, like, FYI. From 6 months, I was making his own homemade food from scratch. I was buying the fun stuff too, just so that I didn't think he missed out on anything, but predominantly I was making like everything from scratch, like applesauce, just like everything. And he was eating, and he was opening his mouth, and I was feeding him, and he was opening his mouth, and, you know, he was eating. Now I'm gonna say this, but I'm gonna say this because of the time period that this was. Okay, so Justin was eating from 6 months to 1 year, and then when he turned 1, he went and got his 1-year-old shots. And I was so apprehensive to give my son these shots. And, you know, I was just trying to think of, like, traditionally, what did my mom do? Like, I still remember my doctor's name, right? Dr. Bellin. And I'm like, well, my mom gave them to me. You know, she had them. Let me not, you know, do anything different, probably, and not give them to him, because when you read about them, that's another story. But there's just a lot to it. So I ended up giving him the shots on that Monday, and come that Friday, he did not want to eat anymore. He did not want to eat anymore. And the week after that, he broke out in like a rash. So 2 weeks after his shots, he broke out in a bad rash. And one in the following Friday after he got his shots, he just stopped eating. So I just say that because it's a timeline that I remember. I'm not trying to say that it has to do with the shots, although I just don't know. And so from then on, it was just like a lot. And then, so when he turned about 3, but in the meantime, between time, we were going to the feed team, we were going to, you know, all the appointments and trying to get him back to like the baseline. You know what I'm saying? Like, even my son did not want anything next to his mouth. He did not want anything next to his mouth. It could have been a doctor, a nurse, you know, there was so many people on the feed team and different kind of people. And me. Nobody worked harder than me around the clock to try to get him, you know, to eat again. I must have gotten like so many different spoons, plates. Young, you know, come on. The roller coaster and all these things, and he just physically couldn't do it. Like, he physically couldn't tolerate it. Like, he did not like anything in his mouth, next to his mouth, on his mouth. And if anything with grit, like a little texture, got in his mouth, he would like gag. Like, not cough, like, because I wouldn't put anything in his mouth like that, but I just mean something with like a little grit, like, let's say grits, for an instance, okay, which I didn't give him, but you know, I was giving him different kinds of, like, trying to do like different kinds of little baby foods and be very gentle. But let's say something with the texture of grits, if it went in his mouth, he just like could not take that sensation. And I feel like sometimes, I don't know if all of those years of that stuff, because I mean, we were going to the feed team like 4 days a week during COVID. And so you figure, you go into the doctor's office, you go into the room, first of all, you make it to where you're going, right? And that's just like monotony, because again, it was COVID. So lots of people were not feeling well. Everybody was in gowns and masks, you know, all the doctors, the nurses, the specialists, the speech pathologist, speech specialist, gastrointestinologist. You know, you guys know, if you watch my video, I kind of with that word, but you know what I mean, the gastrointestinologist. I know that's not how you say it, but you guys get what I'm saying, I hope. Everybody had on not only the face mask, but the face shield and the white gowns. So my son was 1, 2, 3, and you know, he was just seeing all of this. He was seeing like all of this. Like, so can you imagine being little, going through whatever you're going through in your mind, and you can't express it, and I hurry up, like, because you know, everything's like a rush, like, let's hurry up and go, let's get there, like me in my head, like, you know, trying to get to the doctors, you know, because these are very important appointments. And then once we get there, it's me and him, and I, you know, present the food and everything that I brought for them to try with him, and like the utensils and stuff like that. And they recommended things that I had purchased and stuff like that. And sometimes they would have their own little things that they tried as well, right? But my son just wouldn't even let you get next to his mouth, and I'm like, he would see you coming, like, and my son does not have good vision, but he would see you coming. Like, he knew you were coming, and he was just blocking off everything. And it was like so sad to see, because he enjoyed eating from 6 months to a year. He used to open his mouth, and it was just so fun. Like, I just thought that, like, my child, I saw some things early on, don't get me wrong, that I was mentioning to the pediatrician he had then, but it was nothing like this. It was like all kind of different things, and that pediatrician that he had in the first place kept brushing things off. And eventually, you know, I took matters into my own hands and sought out a new complex care pediatrician and stuff like that, and it was obviously a much better fit and stuff. But he thought nothing was ever wrong. My son's first pediatrician, oh no this, oh no that. My son's allergic to milk, and got so sick, like, in the beginning of his life, from when they tell you to try milk, like, because I did breastfeed and breast pump my milk for him until about 6 months. And then, you know, it was time for him to start trying, you know, foods, right? So I used to, you know, his pediatrician at the time knew he was allergic to milk, and I was seeing just different things, you know. We'll talk about these things other times in other videos, because they're, you know, I don't want to try to be all over the place. But so what did the pediatrician suggest, knowing he was allergic to milk? And I get it, you know, but still, when he was 1 year old, when he got the shots, he was like, okay, now go get him, put him on some milk now. I'm like, milk? Milk? And so I was like, are you sure? You know he's allergic to milk. Oh yeah, because the kids grow out of it, they grow out of it and stuff. So I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense, I guess, right? It could be. And this is my first child, so. And I mean, I read and stuff like that, and so it's true, like, a lot of kids, a lot of times do grow out of food allergies and stuff like that, like lactose allergies and stuff like that. But so I made this like a whole day trip. Okay, I went to Whole Foods, got him out the car, got him in his carriage. I was like, we are gonna pick out the best milk for you, baby. And I went and I got that red milk, the one, the red carton with the cow on it, and it says the omegas in it, and pediatrician recommended, whole milk and the whole 9 yards, and it just looks so great. And like, I was just so happy to buy it for him. And I'm just like, because I'm like trusting the pediatrician, I'm just like, score, you know what I'm saying? He gets to drink some milk and finally, get some good calcium in him. When I gave him the milk in the bottle when we got home, I think he couldn't even believe it, because he was drinking away, like, this is different, drinking it, right? And then shortly after, I would say between that day and the next day, obviously, what was happening was, this is kind of like, you guys would probably be like, how didn't you know? But I just didn't. Like, the first day and the second day, I started noticing him going to the bathroom more. But I was just thinking, like, maybe he's, this is good. Maybe he's going to the bathroom more. And then I gave him a bath, and then he went to the bathroom in the tub. So I'm like, is this diarrhea? Does my son have diarrhea? Because he never had it before, so I didn't know what what it looked like or what it was supposed to be. It wasn't that runny or anything. I mean, it was loose stool, but it wasn't like water or anything. So I called this pediatrician anyways, because I'm like, I didn't want him to get like dehydrated or anything. And so we went to the doctors and saw his pediatrician, and long story short, my son was in the hospital for almost a week because of that. Yep, he was still allergic to the milk. And I'm just glad that I caught on to it fast, because he was seriously dehydrated. It's not like he was vomiting, but he was like not feeling well at all. But it happened so fast, you know what I mean? Like, I can't drink whole milk either, but with me, ever since I was little, the minute I smell it in a cup, I will throw up. Like, so I'm thinking he would be throwing up if he didn't feel good, right? He wasn't like lethargic or anything. So yeah, but I mean, it didn't even take 48 hours for me to catch on that, like, this is like not good. So anyway, I started talking about that just because I was talking about like food and eating and all this and all that. And it's just been a long road. Like, there's so many intricate details and stuff like that I could share with you guys, and days and months and times and years and situations and stuff. But and I will, if you guys would like to hear more stories and know more things, they could be educational for you guys in some sort of way or whatever. And it'll probably be good if some moms that have went through the same things as me comment or leave a heart or something like that, just so that I know that you're acknowledging that you you kind of can relate if you want to. But so anyways, my son just started eating Whole Foods at 3, but very little by little. Like, I had to be super careful, and we were still the whole time going not to the same feed team. That was kind of like they were trying to like really do some intervention with that, but we didn't go back to the feed team. It was just too much. We kind of like actually outgrew the program, like not real much progress. He just didn't want to be bothered. And plus my son learns better like in a one-on-one setting with a one-on-one person, and not so many people, and not so many lights, and not so much going on. And again, everybody was all masked up and gowned up and stuff like that. So I just couldn't imagine what were in kids' minds, not just my son, but like just children in general during that time. Like when we had to take them to the doctors and stuff like that. Imagine that they'll never be able to tell us, for the ones that can't talk. But thank God he's here. You know what I'm saying? And thank God all your children, the children that are here and healthy. And you know, it's a never-ending work in progress. Never-ending work in progress. So anyway, little bit by little bit, you know, I try different things for him to start, you know, eating and stuff. Because let me tell you, that was one of my number one favorite things to look forward to, was like my son. I'm having a little I had a little boy. I didn't know that I was having a little boy, but when I had him, I was just like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to like feed him and make food for him. Like, he's a boy, he's gonna want to eat like good stuff and good meals and hearty meals and stuff like that. And I was just so excited about every single thing, especially like cooking for my son, you know, like. So I do get to do that now, though. I do get to do that, but it can be like, it can be like, well, it is kind of like an all-day affair, and that's fine. You know, I thought about opening a bakery, like legit, or just some other ideas and stuff like that, since like I do a lot of like cooking and stuff. Because sometimes he doesn't like things. It's not like he's supposed to like everything I cook. He doesn't, and he lets me know. You know what I'm saying? So I have to go back in there and I have to like concoction up something else. I'm just happy that he's eating. So with the biscuits today and the hamburger today and the rice and the cabbage, what I do is, with the biscuit, is I open it, I take the most moist part of the biscuit in the middle, and I put a little bit of hamburger in there, a little bit of rice in there, and a little bit of chopped up finely cabbage in there, and I roll it up nicely, and it's so soft and it's so good. And I just put it next to his mouth, and he takes a bite. He eats like a little turtle. Like my son is not greedy. Like he can eat a lot during the duration of a day. He likes to like munch a lot during the duration of the day, but he's not greedy like with like big bites and like just wanting to like down something. Like, he's not like that. He's like, and if there's like something else in his mouth, and you go to give him a bite, he won't take the next bite. And I think that's so smart of him. He's like, you are not overfeeding me. He's like, I know how much I can handle in my mouth. And so I think that's so smart of him. But so if any of you want to do that, you can either just make the biscuits from scratch, or you can just get the biscuits, the Pillsbury biscuits, so you know, whatever kind of biscuits, and you can just open it and put, you know, whatever it is that your child will tolerate inside of it, and just kind of roll it up a little bit, because it'll be, again, so moist and soft, and they can just take little bites of it. You know what I mean? So that's what I do. That's what I did with that, and I'm so happy he likes it. I'm so happy he likes cabbage, and he looks so cute eating. Like, you know how, like, poor thing, like, when somebody starts eating late and doing all these things late, they don't do it like us because it doesn't come natural. So he has the cutest little way of eating. I'd be like, Justin, you gotta chew that food before you swallow it. And he knows. But anyways, my friends, that was about some of my sons eating things and just being a mama. And I enjoyed the food too. I had some too. I wonder what you guys cooked. Something yummy? Alright, so let me tell you a little funny story about how sometimes people can be like a creature of habit. I'm gonna tell you guys something. I am. So I'm gonna talk about some perfume, some oil perfume. Get right off the topic. So this is called Sand and Fog, right? Inspired on the coast of California coast, violet sandalwood perfume. But it's like it's like a roll-on perfume, you know? So it's like a little oil, and I love that because I like essential oils, but this is like a perfume, right? So I got this in the summer, and I got it from TJ Maxx, and it was $14.99, right? And so you figure violet sandalwood, right? And it has like flowers, if you can see, like flowers on it. But to me, it didn't smell too florally. It didn't. I could smell the pretty notes, but it's soft. It's very soft. So all I need is a little bit of this, and I'm fine, right? So then one of these weeks, like I think a couple of weeks ago, when I was in TJ Maxx, I was in the section where I was not in the perfume section. I was in the home section. And I picked up a bottle. Right? You see, it looks like this. But when you look at the bottle and you're in the other section, you're in the home section, I looked down, I was like, that's a sharp looking bottle. That's a sharp looking bottle. You know, it's nice and cute, right? And so when I looked at it, I said, violet sandalwood. That sounds good. And then it says the fragrance notes. It says fragrance notes of bergamot, violet, cedarwood, and musk. I'm like, how fall? How autumn is that, right? So I'm like this, and I'm like, comes out like this, nice and dainty, right? And oh my god, you smell this and it smells like autumn. Like, it smells fresh. It smells like autumn. Like, it smells good. And so I don't think I don't think I saw the flowers on the top. And the violet sandalwood didn't ring a bell in my head, and because it's a whole different bottle. You see, I don't know if they trick us, TJ Maxx. I don't know if they trick us or what. So I got home and I was all excited because, you know, I don't treat myself too much to things. So I was all like excited, and I like put it next to there, and I put them together, and I'm like, sand and fog, violet sandalwood, the same amount as perfume. I'm like, Bridget, did you get the same perfumes? Boing. Ring ring, I got the same perfume. It's just like it came in two different bottles. And I'm like, I am a creature of habit, because that's just too, like, I must like this. You know, like, you know, I bought the same thing, but it's in a different bottle. However, I will say, if you guys run across this at TJ Maxx, this one's also $14.99. This one does smell a little bit more autumn. This one does smell a little bit more summer, spring. So I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand if it is two different ones and it's just the same exact name. But they smell wonderful. And, you know, TJ Maxx and Marshalls and stuff like that, Home Goods, you know, you can always get a good perfume there. So, yeah. But what do I have on? I just have on some lavender. I took a shower and put a little lavender essential oil, relaxing. I showed you guys one yesterday for Cheer, the tangerine one, by Aurora or Aura Cassia. I believe that might be how you describe this, but it's a pure essential oil and it's obviously relaxing lavender. So after I got out of the shower, I just put on my lavender and coconut lotion, and I put on some of this because it's obviously the end of the night and I'm gonna go to sleep after I get off of my video that I love so much doing with my new YouTube friends and family. Yeah, if you guys like my channel and you like my content, please give me a thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up, me and Justin. And please subscribe to my channel. I really need it. I'm gonna be very honest. You know, obviously I'm a new content creator and I'm like enjoying it, right? It's work. It's not like it doesn't come so easy. Just because of the phone business, the Google business, the YouTube business, like just like all the questions they ask you, and like when you post something up, and just all the learning and stuff like that. But it's good for me. I'm happy. It's like, it's good. It's challenging my mind. And like for so long, you know how it is, you mamas. For so long, when you're just a mom, or you know, you're in a relationship and you're a mom or something like that, you don't tap in. Like not like some people do. Some people are better at that, better at the balance, and depending on how healthy things are in your home life, you can kind of like just tap out and tap into yourself and like make sure that, you know, you still are on point and doing everything that you got to do, and everything's in alignment the way you want it and stuff like that. But for me, I'm like, I'm a little like, I'm not sensitive, because I you know, I'm not just sensitive, but I feel. I'm a human being, I feel, right? So I can get consumed with other things quite fast, especially if I care about a person, or it's my son or something like that, or something going on in my family or something like that. It can take me like right off of my course, and I can just like be trying to figure out how to help them or something like that. But so having this YouTube channel is so good. It was like, it's at the right, I feel like I just knew one day I was gonna try this. But no lie, recently, because I told you this was since I was like it was when I was pregnant, but like really right after I had my son. You know, I was like, wouldn't it just be so cool if I just had a YouTube channel? Because that was like the first time that I even started watching YouTube, is when I was pregnant. That's like the first time I started watching YouTube, and like, I was just watching the things, like the inspirational things though. I wasn't really thinking about being like a content creator or anything like that. I just couldn't believe how many people like you and me, regular people, actually could have a station, a station, that there was a platform called YouTube, that people just like me and you, like ordinary people going through ordinary daily things, actually got up there and just, now we're watching them instead of watching TV. I don't even watch TV really. Like, I watch some things, but I'm not big on TV. But I definitely watch YouTube more than TV, And I was just like infatuated. I was just like, wow, I think this is like so cool. Like, anybody can learn anything from here, or like it's cultivate, you know what I'm saying, and learn and teach for free. That's like, wow. So after I had my son and stuff like that, I started thinking about it, but like life was so hectic, but I still was thinking about it because it was like, it could be such an outlet for me. I was like, I felt like I was just always excuse me, holding my breath, excuse me, just like about different things that were going on in my life, just especially like had to do with my son and just myself and stuff like that. Like, sometimes I feel like even a friend is not, when you can be going through things in life, and you definitely will learn you are your best friend. And if you're not your best friend, you're gonna learn to be your best friend and learn to have a closer relationship with God and learn to depend on Him more. When you really go through serious things in life, that's how I get, and that's how I got. Because I didn't have any outlet. I didn't have anybody that I could depend on. I mean, people could say that I had somebody that I could depend on, but saying and doing and showing, those are all different things, right? But I mean, I had some support, you know what I'm saying? My son, his dad loves him and stuff like that, and I had some support. Like I think I've said it like so many times on this channel, on my channel already. You don't need many people. I think the more people, I kind of always thought that though, kind of like the more friends you have and the more people you want to be around you, or the more people you're around, I feel like you can pick up a lot of disingenuousness, you know what I'm saying? You can feel a lot of different vibes from different angles and stuff like that, and it's just like, I always felt like the person that's always with you or always in your face doesn't necessarily mean that's the person that's like your BFF, you know what I mean? Like, I can love people and be people's friends and don't see them for a very long time, but they're still in my heart. Not everybody works like that. I mean, everybody works different. But what I was gonna say was, I was thinking of, this would be like a great outlet, and not only that, I could be teaching so many people things about what it's like to have a child like mine. Because again, I didn't know any children that were like mine, and everything that came to my face was new. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hadn't seen it before. I didn't think it was gonna have anything, I thought my child was gonna be fine, and just different things kept coming up, and I just, had to keep going along with it and just making sure that I was proactive. And, this isn't happening to me now. This is happening to my child, right? So nobody feel, like I'm gonna get up and it doesn't matter really how I feel. I just want to be proactive for the baby, right? So I was walking around looking like Hiawatha. I was walking around looking like same clothes on sometimes, most of the times. I just never got out of mom gear. Like, there's so many things that first time moms get to do and get to celebrate and get those moments to share and stuff like that, and you know, feel the positivity of having a child. And it wasn't like that. But you know what, I appreciate my story, and it's unique, and it's mine, and it's my son's, and it's my little family's, and it's okay. And I can share it. I can share what I want to share with you guys, because you know what, I'm really no different from everybody else. Like, everybody goes through things, right? Like, there's so many people that their situation may be worse, may feel worse, like, or better or not, like, you know what I mean? Like, and like, sometimes I'm glad I never said this. I never said this, because I already heard somebody say something like this before. Somebody said that they asked, why me? And that God, I think God said, or something, or somebody said to them, why not them? And it's so true. Like, I don't feel like, why me, why him? Like I told you guys before, like, my son to me is perfect. He's perfect for me. He's perfect. He's unique. He's different. You know, obviously, as a mom, I think we all think this, that we just hope that we can hang in there for so long, forever, ever, to be by our children's sides. You know, especially when you have children with different needs. You know, we just want to be with our child and just make sure we can be here for the long haul for them. So, but I'm sure every parent feels that way about their child. That's probably like the worst fear, you know. But so, yeah, lots of stuff I was just talking about, huh? Lots of things. It does all tie in, though. It all ties into something. It ties into me. It's kind of just like who I am, the things that I've been through, my feelings, or some, you know, not even my feelings, my perspectives on things, and you know, just, you know. So if I would have started a channel then, though, it would have been, it could have probably been a big distraction, actually, because I had to really pay attention to my son. So God works it's always on God's time, and he works in mysterious ways, and I believe in him. I believe in the Holy Spirit, and I just know he's here with me, and he's here with my son, and he's the one that gets us by every single day. I know that for sure. And I hope that you guys all have that faith too, that, you know, there's a higher, there's a creator out here, and he's watching out for you guys too, and your family and your children and stuff like that. Like, you know, we have to have hope, and we have to have faith. Without hope and without faith and without a different perspective, what do we have? Now, just now. Now is perfect. Now is good. I'm glad to be here now. But it, you know, when you think about the future and stuff like that, you want to have a positive perspective. You know what I'm saying? You want to have a good perspective, and you want to have hope for life, hope for change, hope for growth, hope for health, hope for annuity, hope for, you know, longevity and stuff like that when you're a mama. So yeah, so my little boy is eating little bit by little bit, but you know, I'm just so happy. It's so funny to see. I mean, it's so fun to see. It's so fun. He was actually gonna come in here today for a little while, but he fell asleep. He fell asleep, and it's so cute because now he knows. I mentioned this to you guys before too, like, now he knows, like, that I'm doing a YouTube channel, and he gets excited. He gets excited about it, right? Like, last night, I don't know if you guys watched my video last night, but I had the fan in here, right? And I took it out of, whoops, sorry. That was my battery. Sorry about that. I took the fan out of our room to bring it in here with me because I get hot in here. And I like the fan, like, all the time anyways. And this is, just so you guys know, this is a Home Goods fan. It's very tall, and it's metal, but it you know, the fan itself, the kids' fingers can't stick their finger in there. It won't fit. They're too small. So I brought it in here last night. By the time I went back in there, he was just, you know, laying down watching his little shows and stuff. And I went back in there and I was like, "Hi, Justin." I'm like, "You missed me?" I'm like, "You know, mommy was in there doing her YouTube." And he really looked at me and was like, He gave me a little bit of an attitude. Do you hear me? I was like, I'm like, "Are you mad mommy took the fan?" And he was just like, I was like, "Can I have a hug? Can I have a kiss?" And I went to go hug him and kiss him, and he really didn't want to be bothered with me because he notices, I'm sure, like, there's a certain part of day, you know, when he's here, there's a certain part of day, or when he's here by, you know, by himself and I'm in here, he's realizing that I come in here. And in his mind, he's probably like, "Who the heck she in there talking to?" Even though I tell him YouTube, I'm just like, how much can he really understand? Like, he you know, I don't want to underestimate him, because I told you guys when I put the video on the TV, he was filled with this joy and this proudness in his face and his expression that I never even saw him have. So I know that, you know, there's a level of understanding as far as me being on YouTube. And I tell him, I talk to him, you know, I'm like, "Justin, mama's gonna do a video, okay, and this and this and that." And he just gets like a kick out of it, like I said. But yeah, last night when I went back in there, he was mad, like, gave me whole attitude, like, probably like, "You took my fan and you went in there?" Okay. These kids are funny. Kids are funny. So yeah, I hope everybody had a good Monday, and I hope you guys enjoy my conversations with Bridget. There's a lot more things, you know, coming to my channel that I can bring forth to my channel. You know, it's gonna take time. I'm like in some situations right now where you know, I'm kind of like, this is my outlet right now, and I'm doing it in hopes to be some kind of inspiration to someone, even if it's just a little bit. And even though I'm 45, I noticed the people that watch my channel, I actually have people that are younger than 35. I have some 20-year-olds in the group, 35 and up in the group, and 50 and 55 and over. And I'm so happy for that. I am so happy for that, because at first I was kind of thinking, just because I think at this age, when you kind of feel kind of like a little bit like, which way do I go? Which way do you go? Like 45, okay, I'm not quite 40, I'm not quite 50, I don't quite have my shit together the way I'm supposed to. Did I say that? Okay. I don't quite have my things together the way that I should have them or want them to be yet. You kind of feel like you're in a lonely space, right? It's like, you know, so I was kind of always thinking of, where's my mamas and my people that are around my age that I can kind of relate to, you know? And I still do feel that way. I still do feel that way. And for sure, my mamas with children with special needs, with autism, for sure, my heart has a special place for you guys. And really, that's obviously, you see me talking about my son and feed issues and, you know, things I've been through. That is where my passion lies, to help and to be, you know, of service to anybody that I can that has a child that, you know, with some kind of disabilities that we can call special abilities too, as well as disabilities, because they're special people and we don't know what's inside of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're rock stars just like everybody else. Like, they're smart, they're beautiful, they're talented, they're wise, and they're our children, right? So I obviously have a special place in my heart for them and for you guys. You know, but I don't want to exclude anybody that's a good person, or because there could be some young moms out there that are having children with special needs, or some young moms out there that are suffering from postpartum depression or anxiety or a bad relationship or anything going on in their life that, you know, they feel like maybe it's hard to overcome and stuff like that. And I feel like we're older than them, so it's like, hopefully, you know, up to us to, you know, be a little bit of a mentor if we can, even if it's with a kind word. Because I always say, you never know what somebody's going through. It doesn't matter what age you are, you know what I mean? And then for my older women, my 55 group and up, 50 years old and up, and 60 and up, there is no limit on my love for you guys. I told you guys in one of the videos, I love older people. Ever since I was younger, I flocked to older people. You guys have so much wisdom. Like I said, you guys are a bag full of gems, and I learned so much from my older mamas and, you know, grandmamas and aunties and whoever you guys are, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're the ones that nurtured people. So you're probably somebody who's older than me, older than 45, can be looking at me and know just what I'm talking about and just what I need, or, you know what I mean? So I love you all. Like, I appreciate you all, and there's something here for you all, as far as content is concerned. You know, and then there's some men watching. I'm like, really? And I'm happy for that too, because, you know, there could be some fathers, single fathers, families, you know, husbands and wives, just people going through things, going through challenges. You name it, I've probably been through it, or have been through it from somebody else going through it and felt it and learned from it myself. So I just send empathy to all of you guys. There's just too much going on right now in this world for us to not stick together. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you can find some commonality in with the person, or like I say, you can identify and stuff like that, for sure. Let's just be kind. Let's just be open-hearted, and just be generous. You know, when I say generous, I mean, like, if we have the time, let's do this. Let's let people know that they're not alone, and let people know it'll be okay. It'll take time, but this too shall pass. You will get through this. Even if somebody's grieving, you could be grieving a loved one. Time does heal, and I know nobody wants to hear that, as far as any of these topics that I brought up. Time, patience, perseverance, and our Almighty Creator, Jehovah God. Just keep hope. Keep the hope alive. Keep the faith alive. Keep getting out of that bed, no matter how hard it is. Because it's hard for me too. But we just gotta keep getting up out of bed, and we gotta, you know, I mean, some days more than the others, you know, obviously. But we can only do better. Like, we can only do better. I think it's only up from here. Like, the sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? Let's just try to find some peace within us. Listen to positive things, good things. You know what I mean? And hopefully, hopefully you guys like my channel. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, please, if you're not subscribed, so that I could get more ahead on my journey. If I can get ahead on my journey, that will be good, because I can do more things. I could show you guys more things. I could do more things, and it would just help me so much, help my channel to grow. I was gonna say this earlier and I forgot to say it. I was a little bit like in my feelings when I looked at the fact, I'm like, I made over 20 videos and I don't have any friends. I don't really have any friends. I don't really have that many subscribers. But I know things like this take time. Like, I believe things like this take time. Good things take time. And, you know, I don't want to force or pressure anybody to do anything like that. Like, subscribe to my channel if it's something that you don't want to do. I think for me, it just, like, when I looked at YouTube before I had a YouTube station, I was just subscribing to everybody. Just to, like, I was like, subscribe. You could say, and I'm like, subscribe. Because I just think it's a nice, good thing to do. And I'll come across your channel one day and I'll hear something that's, like, fruitful, right? So what's the big deal? Even before I, like, watch what they're really saying, I'll go in maybe a minute or so, subscribe, you know, because I know it's a business too. It's what they need too for their channel to grow too. I mean, if it's negative, definitely not. Definitely stay away from me, right? But as long as it's, you know, something that I know that I wouldn't mind my ears hearing, for sure, subscribe. So if you guys can do that for me, it would help me and let me know that I care, you care, and we're trying to get ahead all together. And whoever's out there that wants to make a YouTube channel, I always encourage it. Or whatever it is that you want to do, I always encourage it. Go for it. What do we have to lose? You know what I mean? I mean, some people with jobs, that have jobs and want to jump into something else, and they already have their 401k and all that stuff, they have a lot to lose. But maybe you can start part-time on something else that you want to do. Whether it be a hobby, just spending more time with yourself, growing your relationship with God, or making a YouTube channel. Whatever you want to do, you can just start slow and do it part-time. Well, everyone, you have my blessings, and happy Monday. Mwah. I hope you guys enjoyed my vlog as much as I did, and I will see you guys tomorrow through the grace of God. Okay? Night night.